Hello everybody and welcome back to another review. Last night I saw a little movie called John Wick Chapter 4. Now, my history with John Wick has been a little weird because I never saw the first or second one in theaters, but I did see the third one in theaters and it absolutely blew me away. And then from then on I went back and watched the other two. And I love this series. I think John Wick's a very interesting character who doesn't speak very much, and so there's a lot of intrigue with him as a person and as a character, and Chapter 4 only enhances it, but in a way that I did not expect, and it does something that I think really favors the film in a lot of ways, and that is there's a lot more facial expressions than there is dialogue. You see a lot of what is happening on Keanu's face, and he kills it. Now, he isn't the best actor in the world, and everybody can admit that, but he really does bring his A game to this film, and I think he does a fantastic job. That being said, I want to give you my overall thoughts for John Wick Chapter 4. This movie's great. It's genuinely one of the best action films I've ever seen in my life. Incredibly choreographed. This film looks beautiful. It's fast-paced. It's almost 3 hours long, and it doesn't even feel like that. It is such a smooth movie to sit through, and I loved every single second of it. Not only is John Wick still a very interesting character, but the characters around him, the side characters, they're so rich, and there's so much depth with each of them, and you really care about every single character in this movie. It gives you a reason to care, which is very rare for a fourth film in a franchise. This film does it very right, making it probably the best John Wick film as well. It just does something with its characters that make it so natural, and there's so many consequences, and characters, there's always a risk of them dying. There's always a risk, and you feel that risk throughout the entire film. There is a scene towards the final scenes of this film that your heart is pumping. You have no idea what's going to happen. It is an incredible sequence, and this film, like I said, has some of the best action sequences I've ever seen in a film. My God, there's a scene in a nightclub just like the first movie. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Even just individual shots from the film. There's a shot towards the beginning of the movie of John Wick standing in front of a big red sign. It is so beautiful, and I loved every single shot in this film. It is directed so beautifully. Keanu Reeves kills it. Donnie Yen is so good in this movie too. Oh my God, everybody just is so good, and I can't praise this movie enough. Like, this review's probably not going to be very long because it's just such a good movie. I have so much praise to talk about. Now, I want to do a spoiler review because there's actually a surprising amount of spoilers in this film that I can't talk about right here, but when the movie comes out, I'd love to do a spoiler review because there is a lot to talk about here. There is an emotional conflict within John that you really see, and you really understand why this character wants to do what he does. He doesn't care if he dies, and that's what makes him so interesting, is he's just trying to do something really for himself at this point, because what does he have left? He has nothing. So it's such an interesting character, and I am so glad that this film was as good as it was. Guys, when this comes out on March 24th, go check it out. My God, do yourself a favor. It is amazing, and go see it in IMAX because, my God, loudest theater experience I've ever had, but probably the best theater experience I've had in years. That being said, of course, John Wick Chapter 4 gets an A+. I'm so happy right now. This movie's great. Well, that does it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have different thoughts on the movie, if you just want to talk about it, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to talk about it with you. Tomorrow, there's probably going to be a review for Shazam, which I saw tonight. I just got back from it. Won't say my thoughts on that quite yet, but I'm excited to bring that review to you guys. So until then, I will see you in the next video.